Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again toward Parashat Lech Lecha, for a short and sweet idea. We say on Pesach, V'hi she'amda la'avoteinu v'lanu, and this is what kept us going throughout the generations. What is V'hi? V'hi is the promise. Which promise? The promise to Avram Avinu that you have in this week's Parashat. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has two promises to Avram Avinu that he mentions a few times in this Parsha and a few future Parshiyot. And the two promises are that Avram Avinu will have many, many children. And the second promise is the land of Israel that he will inherit, the land of Israel. These two promises follow us throughout the generations. And I would like to look into the psukim exactly. HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises Avram Avinu, the children, V'samti et zeracha ke'afar ha'aretz. I will make sure that your children are so many they'll be like the dust of the earth. And then later on, Avram says, Vayome Avraham hemi lo natata zera. One second, you promised me I'll have children like the dust of the earth. I'll have so many, uncountable, but I haven't got even one child. Lo natata zera. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers him and says to him, Vayotze oto achutza. Vayome habedna shemayim u'spor kochavim im tuchal lisbor. And takes him out and says, look at the stars. Can you count them? That's how your children are going to be. They'll be as many as the stars. So we have here two great insights I'd like to share with you. One is the Or Chaim HaKodesh that really asks, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu has already promised in your hand to have children like the dust of the earth, what is he all of a sudden asking again? And he's promised you. Don't you believe he's going to keep you his promise? So the Or Chaim HaKodesh has a beautiful insight. And he says, you promised me children like the dust of the earth. You know what? I don't want children like the dust of the earth. You haven't promised me children like me. I'm Avram Avinu, Nasi Elohim Ata B'tochenu, a great man. I am a revolutionary. I am a great man. I've done great things. I want children like me, not like dust of the earth. So what does HaKadosh Baruch Hu answer him? HaKadosh Baruch Hu answer him, you know what, you're right. I'm changing my promise, and I'm changing my blessing. Go outside and look at the stars. You will have children like stars, not like the dust of the earth. But each star is a planet in itself. And the closer you get to it, you see the light and you appreciate the light of that planet. You're going to have children like stars because you are from Avinu. You are a star. You're going to have children like stars, not like dust of the earth. And therefore, it's a whole new promise. And therefore, I have to tell him to go out and look at the stars for him to believe this. That's all HaKadosh. I'd like to take this one step further with the Shemi Shmuel. Shemi Shmuel of Shmuel Borstein, who was the Sokochov Rebbe 100 years ago, the grandson of the Kotzker Rebbe. And he has a beautiful insight here based on a question. Let's look at the Pasuk, and we see something outstanding in the Pasuk. The Pasuk says, I've read you before, Vayotze oto achutza, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took Avram out into the open air. Vayome habetna shamayma u'spor kochavim im tuchal lisbor otam. Look up to the heavens and count the stars if you can count them. Vayome lo ko yeh zarecha. And he said to him, that's how your children are going to be. The question is, why is Vayome twice? Vayome is an opening. So we understand that it says, Vayome habetna shamayma u'spor kochavim im tuchal lisbor otam. The first Baruch was saying to Avram Avinu, you go outside and count the stars. So Vayomer lo ko yeh zarecha. Why the second opening? So that's but Rebbe says something so beautiful. Shemi Shmuel says, Baruch tells Avram, go outside and start counting stars. So what does Avram Avinu do? He goes outside and he starts counting stars. And Baruch says to Avram Avinu, what are you doing? He says, I don't know. You told me to count stars. I'm counting stars. Vayomer lo, he promised him, the same way you are doing the impossible, like counting the stars. So your children will be the same. Your children will have unconditional emuna in Hashem, even when He asks you to do things which are impossible. And therefore, take the Orhaim and the Shem Shmo together, like Hashemah is actually promising, your children will be like stars. And they'll be like stars in a way, like stars in a way that they will be doing the impossible with unconditional emuna. Think of this and think of these wonderful hostages that came out. I've had hundreds and hundreds of days, some after 2 years, but some after hundreds and hundreds, and they all come out like stars. They were degraded. They were starved. They were tortured for 2 years. They didn't see sunlight. They had no idea if and when they're ever going to come out. But they come out with stories that each one of them is a star, and each one of them showed unconditional emuna. Absolutely amazing. But Hashem, we are descendants of our Avinu. We are the stars. We have unconditional emuna. We continue doing that in health and in happiness, not out of hostage situations, but in health and happiness. Shabbat.